Hello, I'm Frank Caruso. Welcome to another episode of Oregon Live. In this episode, I got to sit down with Fran Anderson, who happens to be an acupuncturist, but she has an incredible passion for playing the accordion. Now, during the interview, as we were talking and setting up the equipment, Fran has this amazing, infectious laugh, and we got off on laughing jigs and had to pause here and there to get through the interview. It was a lovely interview. As we were talking, I was reminded of a song called Carry On, and it's performed by a group called Fun. And there's words in there that reminded me of Fran because I really truly believe Fran is a warrior, as you'll see in this episode. But the words that I recalled at the time is, we are shining stars, we are invincible, carry on, carry on. And that is Fran Anderson, a true warrior. Enjoy this episode.
Hello, my name is Franciska Anderson, and I am currently taking accordion lessons. This is my trusty accordion. It is a button box, considered one of the more difficult accordions to play, actually. So it's a little bit different than the typical piano accordion that a lot of people see with a keyboard. This one, I'll explain it as I'm playing it, but it's a little bit more challenging to play. So the reason I started getting into an accordion is because I went to my mom's village in Hungary called Muci. And I was the first one back of my family. My family was displaced back in 1946 and landed in the Milwaukee area in 1952. And so for my entire life, I used to hear stories about Muci and our heritage there. We were ethnic Germans that were settled in Hungary, and I always had a desire to go there. So when I was dealt the breast cancer card in my life, I decided that I had to live for today and go explore my heritage and do those bucket list things that I really wanted to do, and that included going to Hungary. So back in 2015, I went the first time, then back in 2017, I went again. This time because they were having the descendants of the village come back to the village, and they had set up a museum of, all this, with all the heritage, all the history. It was fantastic. One of the nights that I was there was a campfire, and a gentleman came out with an accordion. And they all around the campfire started singing in German and Hungarian, all these wonderful songs, and there was just something about the instrument that drew me in. And after having lots of different things, bad things happen, that instrument brought me a lot of joy. And there was a settling in my soul that was not unnoticed. It was pretty profound in that moment. So I decided when I came back that I was going to pick up this instrument and give it a try. So I've been playing for the last 3 years, taking lessons from a couple different people. Currently I'm with a wonderful national accordion artist. His name is Alex Meixner. He is top-notch, and on top of it, he's just a really good person. I really enjoy him. So he is very kind. He is just an awesome teacher, and I'm one of just a few students that he has right now. I really want to bring the accordion back because it is such an interesting instrument, and all around the world, all different cultures have an accordion, whether it's basically a harmonica. So using air and reeds and, playing in a certain chording, you can create all these wonderful songs. So I think that it's a lot of fun, and it does bring a lot of people joy when I'm playing. So it's been great. Whenever someone is playing the accordion, I feel as though you can't be unhappy. You hear a polka, you hear a waltz. Alex has been teaching me that to have fun, to actually play. And that is not something that is part of my life, because I, as an acupuncturist, as my profession, I'm witnessing a lot of the trials and tribulations, especially right now, and all the stress that people are experiencing. The accordion for me has been bringing a lot more joy to my life. And the fact that I can share it with other people, as I did with my birthday party, for instance, I had a huge group of people come. We all masked up. Everybody was safe. It was great. But to listen and witness live music, particularly accordion music and polka, it was so, even though a lot of people didn't dance, just hearing the music makes your soul happy, because you can't be unhappy listening to a polka. And the accordion just has a soulfulness that, and a depth that you can plumb. My accordion teacher's been playing for 40 years, and he's still exploring the different emotion that comes with accordion. So I've been learning to have more ease in my life and peace and joy through an instrument that I never was attracted to until I was 47 years old. So it just goes to show that you can pick up things and you can learn more things. You can, no matter what your age is. He has a student that's 80 years old who just picked up the accordion, and she is loving it. So it's been awesome. So my button box has certain rows of keys, and it's considered a 4-row button box: G, C, F, and B flat. So any of the notes that make up those chords are what make up these rows. And so when you push in, you get all the most important, like G, D, B. And then when you pull out, it's going to be A, C, E, and F flat, or F sharp, pardon me. So let me say it a different way. Every button actually has 2 notes on it, whether you go out or in with your bellows. So I actually have to learn 2 different keyboards. And so this is like my little cheat sheet. So when you're going out or in, the treble side and the bass side, I have to learn where all those notes are. Each button box has limitations on what you can actually play, because it doesn't have all the notes that a keyboard would. So a piano accordion does have some advantages, because you have all the notes in a scale, whereas a button box does not have that. So there are limitations to what I can play on this particular button box because of the way it's tuned. Other accordions that are button boxes could be like A, E, D, B flat. So each one of them has, that's why so many people have multiple button boxes, for instance, because they want to have more range of songs that can be played in different keys. So it's been very interesting to delve into the whys and the hows of accordion playing. So I love it. When I was going through breast cancer treatment, I continued working as an acupuncturist, and I just kept at it. I realized that helping others, even when I was hurting, I basically just set up my day so that I could manage it. I would needle somebody, and then when they were resting, I went and rested in a room. So in the midst of it's cumulative. Chemotherapy is very cumulative. Its effects on you are felt later in the treatment. Many times it just takes a little bit for it to kick in. But I was feeling very fatigued, worn out, self-conscious because I lost my hair, of course, but I still got up and ended up helping other people. And that helped me, my patients helped me get through my own treatment. And when I was going through radiation, unfortunately, my dad was an alcoholic, and he had a hard time emotionally handling my diagnosis, and he ended up overdoing it with the alcohol and ended up dying right after my radiation treatment was done. And so I had to handle not only my mom's death just before I got diagnosed, but then my dad's death during my treatment. And I found that my patients really helped me endure and find my own resiliency, because ultimately when you go through some really rough spots in life, it's not that something bad has happened to you, it's how you get through it. And it's digging deep and finding that resiliency. And I did find that helping others was a recipe to help me get through those rough times too. So it was harrowing to deal with all of that. And when I was going through the cancer treatment and finishing up with it, dealing with my parents' estate, dealing with I ended up having to have a hysterectomy on top of all of that. Then I had knee surgery. There were just so many things that came up along the path that when I was contemplating how to move forward with my life, I decided that bucket list was really important, and going to Hungary, picking up the accordion, doing the things that bring me joy, I'm creating a whole new chapter for myself, because it's the things that happened to me, it's just part of my story, but it's not who I am. Like so processing all of that in the last couple of years, there's been a huge emotional journey with all of it. And the accordion, my teacher and I were just talking about this, the accordion is affording me the opportunity to express that in a creative way and get through, in a way, the grief and those rough spots, the sadness and things like that, but through the use of an instrument that is full of joy. There is something to be said about bringing joy to others. So when I played at the Firefly, when I've played at the Beehive at the nursing home, there is something really powerful about doing that. And yeah, I'm not the best yet, but that's okay. And there's a self-acceptance about making mistakes too, there's so many themes with the accordion, with any instrument, I suppose. It's just that it's bringing me to a different place in my life. And now that I've turned 50, the next decade, I want it to be of my own design. In my 40s, it was not my design. That was something that I felt very subject to the winds of fate. And in my 50s, I'm making it a different story. So how about enough talk, and I start playing some tunes for you. Thanks for being a part of my musical journey. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to play a little tune on the way out. Thank you.